Agility training is important. You should all be doing it. And this trick, no wait, this ninja hack I'm going to give you today is going to take you to a pro level. So like most things, speed and agility, it's a skill. And so you need to develop competency in that skill. But once you get to a certain level, we need to look for ways to advance it. And what I'm going to give you today is a tool you can use to add a read and react element to your agility training, the same way that you need it on the ice. So we're going to make it unpredictable the way it is on the ice. We're going to have you really tap into your mental focus the way you have to do on the ice. And it's a tool that you probably all have right within your reach at this very minute. So here's your ninja trick. It is called the Switched On app. And this is kind of what it looks like when you log in. It's got different drills. So right now it just has some basketball and soccer drills that you can use, but it doesn't matter. We don't use any of those anyway. We go to create your own drill. So I just downloaded this in the App Store. So if you just go to whatever your App Store is and search Switched On, SWITCHEDON, Switched On. And then you download that and you're good to go. So this is what we do. We go to where it says create your own drill, and then it asks you to customize your stimuli. So you have all these different colors that you can use. These are the arrows: up, diagonal, right, diagonal, down, diagonal, left, diagonal. So all different patterns, anything you could want. And then there's also numbers from 1 to 8. So you can say, yeah, I want number 1, 4, and 7 to show up. And let's say we want green and purple. So then I click next, and then I select my amount of time. So I can do, now you can also change it so that you do it like you have to touch to move to the next color, but I like length of time because usually it's a movement response we're going for. So how long will the stimuli be on the screen? So how long is it going to show? Half a second. I usually leave it around that, but sometimes I change it depending on the drill. And if you're creating your own drills, you'll kind of know like, oh, that's a little too long or that's a little too short. How long is the stimuli not on the screen? So how long is the screen sort of black in between stimuli? And again, it depends on the drill. The first drill I'm going to show you is a ladder drill. And so it requires me, when I see the stimuli, I need to step actually out, square up to a shot, come back in and get my pattern. So if this was only like 0.5 seconds, I would always be behind. So, I think I set it for 2 seconds on that first drill. You can see when another drill I'm going to show you is a deck of cards. I also have it set at 2. Sometimes it's a little bit long, feels a little bit long. So then I could just shorten that down. But anyway, that's how I'll set it up, and then I'll click next. Now I can do it for a specific number of rounds. So I can say, well, I want to do this, 10 times. Or what I usually do is count down timer. So I'm going to do it, if I'm working speed, like pure speed, it's just going to be like maybe 10 seconds. If I was working more stamina, maybe I would make it 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and I can also make it unlimited, so it just runs continuously. And then I'll click next, and then you just begin your training. So click there, it gives me a little countdown, and then we're off to the races. And it's going to randomly give me my whatever I chose. This is my stimuli. You can see the time remaining shows up here at the top. I'm doing my training, boom, now I'm done. And then it shows also like the different stimuli that it showed you in that course and how many counts it gave you of each. So in this case, you can see like it showed me the green one twice, the number, whatever that is, number 4 once, and the purple one once. So, you kind of see what you got. And sometimes sometimes you might have the exact same, like it might just be green, 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 it's kind of a random thing. Then I get a chance to repeat the training, complete the session or save the workout. If I repeat the training, it just starts again. If I complete the session, it asks like, how intensely did I approach my training? How focused was I during my training? And I can submit that. And then it shows me a little summary of, you know, how my focus was. I haven't really gotten too much into using that, but I can see it as being a helpful tool as you track it. So that is how to set it up, but let's see how to actually use it. And for that, we're gonna hit the backyard. Come on. So now that you have an understanding of how to set it up, I wanna remind you, keep it simple. Start with just, you know, 2 variables. Make sure that you're maintaining your speed and your quality of movement. If you're losing speed or quality of movement, now you're not training agility anymore. You're reinforcing bad habits. So keep it clean, keep it fast. Let me run you through a few examples. And if you stick around until the end, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip on how you can use it to improve your hand-eye coordination. But for now, we're gonna head over to the agility ladder and start with a basic drill. So I have my iPad just on a little iPad stand that I use when I do live Q&As. You don't need that at all. You can just set it on the ground. And then I programmed in a few of my favorite drills. So then I just go to this one. I call it Creatively Agility Ladder Red Green. So I'm going to tap on that and that's going to bring it up. And then when I'm ready, I just hit the begin training button. And so I have this interval set for 15 seconds. And basically what it's going to do is I'm going to do an in and out pattern in the ladder. And then if it's red, I'm going to do a little pivot to my right. If it's green, I'm going to do a little pivot to my left. And in between, I'm going to try to get into my in and out pattern. And I'm going to try to keep those transitions quick and smooth. And we'll see how it goes. So you can see how I was working hard to stay low in my legs, to try and keep my rhythm, to when I stepped out to square up and really have a vision, you know, for the shot that was coming. And you can also see that, you know, I went the wrong direction. I stutter stepped, you know, these little things that we do on the ice without even realizing it, because we're distracted by, you know, interpreting visual input. So that's why I really like this drill. And again, you can see how keeping it very simple, 2 colors, 1 movement option each way, you know, really adds that complexity. So don't get carried away. It's not to make up the craziest drill ever. It's to sort of challenge you enough so that, you know, you're learning, but you're still using those proper patterns. I'm going to put on my knee pads now and add a little bit of vertical agility to this equation and a little more complexity and probably a few more laughs on your part. And before you ask, the answer is yes. My neighbors do think I'm crazy, but they're used to it by now. And actually, the neighbor that lives right there, her brother's a goalie. So one day I was sitting out on the porch reading or something, and a guy comes in like, oh, they left you out in the basement. And I'm thinking like, who is this weirdo? Oh, this weirdo's a goalie. So he meant that I was out of the lab for a little break. Anyway, got my knee pads on, so we're going to show you another drill. So in this drill, instead of using the colors, I've set it up so there are arrows. So basically there are 3 different variables: colors, numbers, and arrows. So this time I have the arrows. And I can do this either from my feet or from my knees. So when I'm on my feet, if it's an up arrow, I'm going to do just a little jump in the air. If it's an arrow to the right, I'm just going to shuffle to the right. If it's an arrow to the left, I'm just going to shuffle to the left. If it's an arrow down, I'm going to do a knee drop, probably in the direction that I'm going. So if I'm shuffling to my right, I'm going to drop my right knee. I am not smashing into my butterfly. Not. Okay, let's see how this goes. That is it. And you can also do it from our knees. And up, pop, back down. If it's a down arrow, to be RPH in the direction that I was shimming. Okay, now things are gonna get really wild. So this is one we used to do just with a deck of cards. So it would be like if it was a heart, you would do this movement. It was a diamond, you would do that movement. As a club, you'd do this movement. A spade, you'd do that movement. And so you just basically have cards in your hands and just flicking to the next card. But this kind of takes the dexterity out of it. So I had to write down what they are. So this time it's numbers. So a number 1 is shuffled to the right. Number 2 is shuffled to the left. Number 3 is RVH to the right. Number 4 is RVH to the left. But it could be anything. It could be, sometimes we'll do it's just a pancake. Like, so if you get a 4, you get the pancake flat on your belly and recover to your feet. You know, it can be anything you want. I tried to keep it pretty straightforward, but you will see. You will see how confused I get, how fast. So a couple things to notice. Even when I'm just waiting in between for the next signal to come up, I can change that time interval. That would make it harder. Or I'm just doing a little shimmy on the spot to hold it there. And even when I go right or left, I'm just going out a couple, coming back. Going out a couple, coming back. For 2 reasons. 1, I use less space, and number 2, you know, I'm never going to be shuffle for like 15 meters on the ice. So those are a couple things you might have noticed. That's why I'm doing them. And now is the time for you to hit like, to subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have subscribed already, did you know if you hit the bell, it tells you about new videos as soon as they come out? And usually I publish a new video every Wednesday. Sometimes I sneak one in on a Sunday. So I really just started using it this year to add that layer of neural complexity. And the goalies in particular in the Turning Pro coaching program, they're the ones that kind of started monkeying around with it first. They tell me like they can't believe how much it's helped their mental focus and helped them kind of keep track of different things going on the ice. So that's a key, and that's one of the benefits of using this for your agility training. But I come back to your technique, your speed, your efficiency, all that has to be perfect before you start adding layers of neural complexity. So if you're not doing just basic agility training yet, start with that. Build it up until, and video yourself or get your strength coach to watch you. Make sure you're learning to do it efficiently. If your arms are going all over the place, you know, that's not it. You still have some work to do before you need this kind of challenge. So if I see you posting videos on Instagram using these exercises and doing a crappy job, shall we say, I'm going to spank you right in front of everyone, because that is actually going to be making you slower and teaching you bad habits. And nobody wants that. I promised you a bonus, and a promise I will keep. So you can also use this app for doing your hand-eye. So just set it, again, for 2 colors, switching randomly. Set it, to start with, you can set it pretty directly in your field of view. So even if you're just throwing and catching off the wall, have it there so that you can see, okay, blue, red, you know, and just keep throwing, calling the color as you see it, and say the color out loud. Then what you can do is move it a little more to your periphery. So, you know, I'm looking here at the wall, but maybe I'm going to set it over there. So now I can just see it out the corner of my eye, red, blue, green. And then, you know, you can add more colors or 2 colors and a number that you have to pick up and actually read out. Pretty good bonus, eh? So now, if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit it just for that bonus. And now you know what time it is? It's time for you to actually do the training, not just watch videos and be like, oh yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah, that's not that hard. Actually go and do it. If your speed and agility on the ice needs to move up to that next level, this would be a good next layer to add. If you're like, geez, I still don't have a wide butterfly flare, then I've got an answer for that too. I have a free butterfly challenge. It's a 14-day goalie specific mobility program. Just go to your app store and type in butterfly challenge, and it's free and you can get it there. You know what, let me know if you want it, because I just kind of gave you like an overview of how I use this. If you want me to give you some more specific drills and specific setups for patterns, just leave a comment below, and I'll, come up with sort of 3 at a time, tell you exactly what they're for, exactly how to set up the app, and what to look for when you do them. How's that sound? Is that a deal? Okay. You do that, and I'm going to get inside before it starts to rain. I'm going to tell you a secret, something that has me a little freaked out when I'm shooting this video. I cut this grass on Sunday, so I know for a fact there's like, I don't know what it is, raccoon poop or skunk poop or something. I know it's not mine, and I know it's not Paul's, and we don't have a dog, so something been pooping in our yard. So like, I know it's there, but I can't see it. Might end up in some poop by the end of this video. This is what I do for you guys.